Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is just another retrocast from the SNEW network.
We discuss all sorts of stuff from when we were younger, so like old things and that.
Old things and that. So if you're into toys and stuff,
or when Jimmy Savile was still on television,
anything like that from the 80s and 90s, whether it be appropriate or not, Ross.
And Gary Glitter was in the charts.
This is the podcast for you.
This is definitely the podcast for you. We do have another podcast as well called the Snooze Button, which is all to do with TV, pop culture and movie news. That's released on a Tuesday, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, and next week's guest is Ian Watkins.
Who's Ian Watkins?
Adam, fill him in.
No. Oh, God. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Another Retrocast, episode number 10, I do believe. This week, we are continuing with our theme of Lego. So if you listened last week, we did Lego with Paul and Ross, and we're lucky enough to have Adam Gatchell back with us this week. You likes a bit of Lego, don't you, Adam?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I brought you both. Well, I unfortunately don't have three, but the three of you can share and have a look at. Well, you can probably hear pages turning. You can probably hear pages turning. That's them looking through Lego catalogues that I brought in, because Ross made a comment in the last one about the fact that he hadn't seen a Lego catalogue for a long time. So I thought I'd bring some along just to bring out that Lego juice inside their brain.
I've got some retractions and some apologies to make as well, having flicked through a few pages of this. Yeah, they still make basic house sets. They're just under the Lego Classics range. They also just do a bucket of bricks.
They do indeed.
Lego's Classic range. Don't buy your kids Lego Star Wars, buy them Lego Classics and make them learn.
Yeah, well, make them create. That's the point, isn't
it? And that's where one of my first issues comes with last week. You guys saying that the creativity's gone because of the license sets, but
well, you should have been here, mate.
Yeah, well, I was working. I didn't have a choice.
You're not allowed to shoot down last week, mate.
I'm not shooting it down.
Shoot down last week. Fucking turn up.
I'm not shooting it down. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of as adults, your creativity isn't necessarily there in the same way that a kid's is.
I made that point, though. Don't exactly. If you were listening to the podcast,
yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. If you give kids a set of Star Wars Lego, they're probably going to mix it with their other Lego and still come out with the most creative, wonderful things. I do a Lego club at the library I work at, and some of the stuff the kids come up with out of that massive pile of bricks we chuck out in front of them, I give them a theme, and they just go mental.
Ghostbusters.
Mr. Gatchell,
what's the theme this week? Anything from the 18s?
I might have to try that.
Turtles,
I might have to try that and see what happens. Just go 80s themed, because the dads and grandparents are always there joining them. So
go to the comic book section, pick your favourite front cover, make it in Lego.
So
no, you're not allowed anything by DC. They're still making rubbish films.
So I found a page actually speaking about DC that I think some parents from the Isle of Wight would probably disapprove of, which is a DC superhero girls page.
Yes,
isn't that? Shouldn't we
it's based
be
on
non-gender specific?
Well, no,
about these things?
Based on a TV show called that.
Superhero Girls.
Yeah, DC Superhero Girls.
So everything I said last week, I still stand by, but almost even to more extremes. So I'm flicking through, and the Lego creator stuff is really good. Like the Lego Town stuff has almost transcended like Lego and gone almost a bit like Playmobil. Like Playmobil do really cool sets of like just life, don't they?
Yeah.
And Lego do that now, and they do like a camping and with a massive like camper van.
But then Lego City does that. You've got Lego City as well that also does that, and then you've also got like the Lego City crosses over into various genres of what you can get.
Sorry, I quite like the camping one, because I reckon that's far more fun than the actual real thing.
So, yeah.
I went recently for the first time in my life.
Camping.
My God, what's a fucking point of that?
What, camping or
camping?
Lego building?
Why pack? Why leave a perfectly good home and pack all your homely belongings and move into what is essentially a fucking bin bag, which is hot and yet cold at the same time on the inside, and damp and dry, and try and lie there in the middle of a field between what's the only thing that separates you between that and the murderous world that is out there is literally just a bit sheet of polythene.
Yeah. when you can
Never
just stay at home,
madness.
stay at home with Lego.
Never has somebody who's grown up in an inner city of a massive city spoken such a true sentence, reflecting themselves. I don't get this outside.
When you could just stay at home and watch Ninja Punch Man episode 12.
Surrounded by bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
So now I've got to the bit in the catalogue where it is this. At this point, this isn't Lego.
It is.
Like the minifigs are just—they're not even minifigs anymore. And now
No, I don't like
some of these.
those
Look at these
ones.
dragons, mate. There's these dragons. They look like they're made of about 4 pieces of Lego.
You'll be surprised
every
how many
single one-
pieces the wings and head actually break up into.
Well, I'll tell
They
you
look
how many
like solid
pieces the wings and heads break up into. 1 each. There's
Nope.
1 wing, and there's another wing.
Each wing breaks
like,
up into
they've
5
got a
pieces.
Wing each. Yeah, I'm not talking about the hinges, mate. I'm just look. There's no.
Literally, these
Are
parts
we
all
looking at
break up.
Ninjago dragons or...
No,
No,
just
no.
Lego elves is shit. Right, let's go through this
Right,
list.
we're going to spend too much time.
Right, well, let me just sort of talk about Lego City, because you were saying about the buildings. Lego City over the years have had all the different sections, like everything from airport, racing, flight, service and repair, high speed, adventures, emergency, houses, rescue, fire, police, nautica,
Etc.
leisure, octane, blah blah blah. But the
that was
modular,
like a Chris Lengthley. That was like a Chris list. That
yeah.
Chrysalis.
But then you've also got the modular houses you were talking about.
Oh, is that the one where it's like a city block?
Yeah, but each individual one of those fits perfectly within scale with all the city stuff. It's just the city play sets are a little bit more like they're not full, or not always full buildings, but the modular buildings fit perfectly with them, and the modular buildings are based on American, European, and
So is this like the
Chinese
Starbucks
buildings.
cafe in the library and stuff? Or-
yeah, the cinema,
Yeah.
like all of those have different styles: American, European, and Chinese.
If still flicking through this catalogue,
I think...
if I said anything disparaging about Lego City, I retract it all immediately. 'cause
It's amazing,
fucking
isn't it?
Brilliant.
Look at the pizza van.
Yeah, that's like
Look at the
least-
floating
look,
bridge.
The guy who's into turtles goes, look at the pizza van.
Is there a floating bridge?
There is a floating
That's
bridge.
got to be
Wow.
far more successful
Right, for
than the one
anyone
we
in the
got.
world,
There's a chain ferry. Fucking hell, there's a Lego chain ferry, mate.
for anyone that lives in a part of the world where there's a chain ferry or a floating bridge, you probably... Yeah, we're going through a despairing time here on the Isle of Wight. Our local council has just bought one, and it's literally out of service far more than it is in service.
Well, it's out of service
It's out of
permanently.
service
now.
permanently for the minute, isn't it? And we've got a little tiny boat that just carries foot passengers going across
Yep.
the river.
Oh, and they still do
Such
really
a pain in the
opulent,
arse.
expensive train sets as well.
So I've wrote some stuff down just because I've seen stuff on TV recently that's annoyed me, and other little things, all connected to Lego. But then there's also my love of it. I spent time with a friend who, like me, was going through some difficult times mentally, and Lego was a very therapeutic way of getting through things.
Fair enough.
I find it quite helpful in that way, but I also quite like building sculptures out of it. I quite like playing with it and setting scenes up like I did when I was a kid.
What have you done with your Lego tape?
The Lego tape, well, it's one of the reusable Lego tapes. So far, I've built things on it, but I've not put it anywhere. But you can get Lego tape which has got the glue that's on the bottom of a GoPro attachment.
So once the base parts are on there, it's stuck.
That once it's on the wall, that's it.
Right.
Why?
There's
why are we
two
not-
different
can-
types.
Does somebody do Lego wallpaper yet? 'Cause that
Well,
would
that's
be
basically what it
brilliant.
is. You can
No,
get
but you
massive
could just get it in
wide
the
strips.
sheets
Yeah,
of
but you
it.
get massive wide strips of it as well as thin ones. So there's different people
So
making
you can
it.
do something stupid like hang a Millennium Falcon up the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right way, I think you'll find.
But yeah, no, like I haven't done anything with it yet, but I have put things on it because it works. You know, it's
Cool.
not an official Lego product, but it does what it needs to do, and Lego haven't stopped them from making it because they're not like that as a company. They do tend to let people go. Like, there's a lot of people out there that make custom bricks.
Yep.
I've got custom proton packs for my Ghostbusters that are much better than the ones that come with the set.
Right.
And far more to scale with the figures.
Have we had this in
Yeah,
last
much
week's
more
one?
accurate.
Have we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or
Yes, I've got all of it. It's
Right.
amazing.
Okay.
I didn't get the new movie stuff. I just got the old school stuff based on the more recent cartoons.
Cool. So
really
yeah.
good sets. Really good.
Adam, what are your thoughts on UCS New Millennium Falcon?
I think it looks amazing.
It's a bit expensive though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very expensive, but I I would buy it if I had the disposable income.
What's your feelings on the old? It started off as Bionicles, didn't it? And then became
still
Hero
Bionicles.
Factory. Is it still Bionicles?
Yeah, Bionicles still going.
Ah, fantastic! But they seem to use that technique. It's not really. It's something different. I don't know. It's under the Lego brand, isn't it? Like Duplo is, but it almost feels though it needs something other than just the Bionicle side. It needs
it's almost like a cross between Lego and Technic, but with that larger scale. Like the old Technic men used to be quite big, but a little bit more involved. Like I think Bionicle officially finished in 2010.
Yeah,
and then you've had Hero Factory, and now they do the Star Wars Bionicle. Size
it's a very
figures.
different system, isn't it? It's almost a different product altogether.
Yeah, it's almost like they wanted to have their own action figures that weren't just standard Lego models.
Yeah.
So they've kind of they've gone the right direction.
I think it's good. It works.
They've made up.
It's panels and ball joints, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
essentially what it is. Rather
than
bricks.
The Technic like clips and sort of bolts to go through things to hold it together. So it has those elements in its basis, but it is cleverer,
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's good for what it is. It's got that same feeling of.
I do have some friends who are into Lego like me that will not accept that it's Lego.
And I can understand that.
I've got friends that are also like that about the Lego Friends sets where the female figures have hips and little noses and ears. So you can't put helmets on them. So they're like, that doesn't count as Lego.
Like how I moaned about the Simpsons.
No, I think that's fine. I think you're being picky with that. I think it's great to be able to have an actual Homer-shaped head, because then you can make a robot that Homer's head is in the middle of. So he's like in a robotic suit. And you don't have to try and work out how to build a Homer head.
Is it AG88 who's started? The one with the big long head. See, it works for him, doesn't it?
No, because AG88 there's a Lego brick that's the shape of his head.
Yeah, I think the Lego Simpsons figures and stuff like that. I think there's a reason for all of it. And the thing is, kids have their imagination, but like they'll take Scooby-Doo's head from the Scooby-Doo set and put it on the body of a different thing. Like the body of like I don't know, like a Minotaur figure or something from a minifigure set.
So like they did now.
And then put it inside a robotic suit from the Ninjago and space sets. Like, why can't they have that fun of having different shaped things? And it doesn't all have to be the standard Lego minifigure yellow head.
No.
That head, like the very first time they did a non-yellow minifigure head was the basketball sets back in 2003. So in 2003,
it was that late then.
Yeah,
I was expecting early 90s or something.
And they did like flesh tones for the basketball players in the 2003 basketball sets.
Was it specific teams they were doing then?
Yes, yeah.
Was it like, what were they called, the Harlem Globetrotters or something?
No, it wasn't those. It was like
the only basketball team that anybody out of the United States of America knows.
I think it was the something like the Bulls and another. I can't remember the exact teams. They did like 5 or 6 sets, but that year was also Star Wars was the first licensed property, and they started doing those in '99. But the first 4 years of Star Wars sets, they all still had the yellow heads,
right?
And with just their facial expressions on that showed which character they were. Then in 2003, Lando Calrissian was the first. It was the first time they did an alternate Star Wars skin tone, because obviously if he's got a yellow head, it made it harder for kids to understand which one was which.
Right.
So they decided to do.
Whoa! Lando's easy. He's got a cape.
So what they did was they went, right, okay, well, if we're going to do him, then we'll do that with all licensed properties, because they're not from the Lego universe, technically speaking.
Right.
They've all got a helmet.
All the normal Lego yellowheads, and then all licensed properties from 2003 onwards, they've done the actual skin tones and features of the actors playing them, or that's the idea.
Quick question. Was I right about the pirates being the first ones with the
yes, you were indeed.
Faces?
You were indeed.
With beards and things, yeah.
Yes.
Going through this catalogue still, because Lego City's brilliant. I think Lego City is the most Lego there is now.
Yeah, it is, yeah. The city is one of the things that's been going the longest, so like it makes sense for them to sort of keep that tradition going, and they cover a lot of area with it as well.
In case you didn't know, they got rid of the best thing, though.
What?
Well, hang on. There's no Lego space in here. There's no Lego castles in here, and there's no Lego pirates in here anymore.
Pirates of the Caribbean, are they in there?
Yeah, the Lego Castle stuff still exists, but the main thing that's happened with Lego Castles is becoming Nexo Nights. So there's like almost like a digital element to it, and you get cards with the packs, and you play characters in a game.
That's not Lego Castles, mate.
No.
That castle's blue and orange for a start.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like a castle.
No, but that's the direction they've gone with that for the moment, and then they'll go back to traditional castles next year.
They had
what
to
they
put
do
castle
is
in the title to make you even think it was a castle.
So they've kind of blended the castle stuff with Bionics.
Yeah. So like each year,
I think it's other franchise. So it's like Star Wars. Why produce Lego Space when you've got the licensed Star Wars?
Yeah. But then what they'll do is every so often, like 5-6 years ago, they had Lego Space 2. Lego Space Police, which was brilliant set, standard Lego minifigs, but it was set in space. Yep. And what they do is every few years, in between the licensed stuff, the city stuff, and then the other ongoing stuff, they'll bring back an old series like Castles, and they'll do a couple of years of doing Castle stuff, which you can get on their website still. It's just not the stuff that's coming out that's in the catalogue. Right. Yep. So the catalogue is only like 2/3 of what you can get. It doesn't have a tiny
catalogue, isn't it?
It doesn't have the modular buildings in. It doesn't have the Lego Ideas stuff. It doesn't have the Lego architecture. And I'd say the Lego architecture stuff is the only stuff actually aimed at adults, like the cityscapes of like New York, the Taj Mahal, things like that. Those architecture
and every USC set.
No, I wouldn't even say all the USC sets are aimed at adults.
UCS or whatever.
UCS, whatever.
I thought you said UFC.
Yeah, probably did.
Jeez.
Ultimate Fight Club, yeah.
Yeah, all the UCS sets, I would say, are aimed just as much at kids as adults. Obviously, they're a lot more expensive, but...
And kids with a lot of patience.
I don't know. I as a kid, and I know a lot of other people used to love following the instructions, and the longer it was, the more time it took, so the more time you got to spend with your Lego.
I used to build other people's Lego because they couldn't be bothered to do it. Because always when they couldn't be bothered to do it, it'd be a set that you couldn't afford.
Exactly.
It's not you couldn't afford. Your big set that year was something else.
Oh, I never got big sets other than stuff that was handed down to me, like the space monorail. Like that was given to me. Like I've never, like all the big sets I own are ones I've bought as an adult, like the Queen Anne's Revenge from Pirates of the Caribbean, because it was a cool looking black pirate ship. The Ghostbusters Firehouse.
I've just seen here.
Go on then.
They've just got the bounty hunters all in a group.
Yeah, I own that. It's amazing.
Can you just buy that as a set?
Yeah, it comes with a speeder bike that they can all sit on.
What? So I can buy Bosk, Dengar, IG-88 and Forlong?
Yep.
Where's Zuckuss and Boba Fett?
In a different set.
Of course they are. Fucking Lego.
My favourite thing to see is like the micro scale stuff. So like there's a minifig that came out in one of the minifig series, which is basically a guy dressed up as a dinosaur. Some people have taken his head out from inside that because the mouth's open on the dragon bit, and put like red or black like coloured headpiece in, put that back on so it looks like Godzilla.
I've got one.
Yeah, so
I bought one for the missus, yeah.
And there's a load of people, including myself, who when those came out, the first thing we did was get a small base plate, like 16 by 8 or something, and then build a micro scale city and have him in the middle of it, and wherever there's smoke, use the Lego ice cream tops, and they kind of clip together and work like a nice little chain of smoke.
Right.
So you could just have like half of it destroyed with him in the middle, and then the rest of the city you've built out of as few pieces as possible, these little skyscraper structures. So it could be just a load of flat plates. But yeah, the artistic style to micro scale is my favourite. Like, I think there's something beautiful about...
We were saying about how there's something more artistic about building something smaller than there is building something larger. Because the bigger you build something, the easier it becomes.
I don't know if it becomes easier. Not with Lego.
I suppose, except for with weight
you just brute
restriction.
force it. No, but you can brute force the shape, can't you?
Yeah. No,
of course you can. Like, it's much easier to make a curve with lots of bricks. Like I said last week, it's just pixelating something, isn't it?
Yeah, to a point. But like the manpower and time and effort it comes in designing something of a bigger scale,
and if you want a dragon with hinged wings that's 6 foot tall, where you're going to struggle, because
and the thing is, like Legoland, they've got 3 scales. You've got minifig scale sculptures and sets to look at. They've got
in Legoland. Have they got all of the Lego City built as one giant massive city?
No.
but I'm not
But
interested.
what they do have is they have the
I'll go
three.
to Godzilla Model Village, mate. Then.
They have the 3 scales. You have the standard minifig scale. You have the large, massive scale, which I know, like a lot of people, including myself, aren't too fussed about. But I still appreciate.
Well,
how
like when they
difficult
make a
it is.
6 foot high Hulk in a
Yeah,
Lego
yeah.
store. Yeah.
Not that interested in it, but I still
Boring.
understand how much work's gone in. But then the middle scale, which is what you get at the Legolands, is where they make figures out of bricks.
Yep.
And then they build buildings to they're like 3 times the size of micro scale. So you'll have like Buckingham Palace with marching soldiers outside and stuff, and then you'll have like the Empire State Building, and they're all like to scale with each other, but they're bigger than minifig scale, and they are beautiful. They've got a whole like sections of the world at Legoland like next to each other, all set up, and you kind of walk around it, and it's kind of. I think for kids, it's the least interesting bit of the park because they got rides and all sorts of stuff now. But as an adult going there with some kids, like you get to see that stuff and you just appreciate the time and effort someone's gone into to designing this and how they've got it so right.
Yeah, sure. I would like to go to Legoland just to have a little look.
Well, you've got a kid now, so it can happen now.
This is true. I won't just look like a weirdo walking around in me Mac. So
I brought a picture for Ross quickly. I just want to. It's the plane you said from the Indiana Jones.
They
you knew
did the
did
flying
it.
wing.
The flying wing. That's really cool. How much is that? £100?
Probably a couple of hundred now because it's been out of
print,
whatever.
I'll have it. I'll have it loose without the minifigs then for £70, please.
Yeah, possibly.
So
unlikely.
Okay, so let's cover 3 things. Let's cover our favourite sets.
Yeah.
Our whether or not we're okay with third-party manufacturers, and Lego Master Builders.
Oh, can we just, Adam? Can I just get your opinion on like when people make Lego like World War II Lego?
What as in like custom stuff?
Yeah.
I don't mind custom stuff for the men, and I don't mind like I've got the custom Ghostbuster backpacks, and I've got some custom like samurai armor, like the Chinese terracotta soldiers. I've got a whole series of armor for Lego men that is basically their armor and weapons from the time, and because I love my ninja Lego and my samurai Lego. I've got a whole selection of stuff to like build. I'm working on a whole scene of a field with 2 army factions fighting. So yeah, I'm quite into that.
Micro
stuff.
scale.
No, minifig scale.
Right.
So it's going to be about the size of this room when I finish it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's going to take me a long time to get there, and I need the space to actually put it together. But yeah, so I use some custom stuff. I'm not totally against it. It's just the proper cheap fakes that you get that I'm kind of against.
Fair enough. Right, so I noticed that Lego own Duplo now. I never knew that.
They've always owned Duplo.
Have they?
Yeah.
Right,
it's
from
one
the
of their.
start?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Did Duplo used to have a different name?
Yeah, because
Duplo's your introduction to Lego, isn't it?
You're getting Duplo and Playmobil
I
modelled,
am getting
aren't you?
Duplo and Playmobil modelled up.
No, I tell you what they've done. They've done a range of stuff in direct competition of Playmobil, and it doesn't sit really, but doesn't sit in the range very well. It's like a shit version of Lego Cities. It's called Lego Friends.
No, that was their attempt a while back to make Lego, because girls complained that they didn't like Lego City and they didn't like certain stuff. There was an outpour at one point, and I think it was their attempt, whether it was a good idea or not, to try and get girls more interested in Lego.
So they're Lego City sets with minifigs that are rubbish because they're not minifigs, and the bricks are all just silly colours for the sake of it. Like there's a truck, but it's pink.
Would the bricks fit together with...
The bricks still fit.
But then
it's just the minifigures. They have like curves to the body, and they have like little noses sticking out, so you can't put you can't fit helmets on them or anything like that.
Okay.
It's a little bit annoying.
Well, okay. Rightio then. So, I take it we've all got Lego sets at home, sat there, doing something on a shelf.
No.
None?
No.
You sold all yours, didn't you?
Yeah, not that long ago I went through a phase. I started collecting Lego and then suddenly realised that I didn't have the room and the time and the want for it.
Fair enough. Did you have a favourite set that you'd built at some point?
Oh, mate, it's just the Robin Hood treehouse cave one.
Just one from when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
So, okay. So you didn't have like a... No, what I'm trying to say, anything that you've had on a shelf as an adult.
All I had was
sat there for a while.
Recently I had TIE Defender and TIE Fighter, which are two different Star Wars sets.
What's a TIE Defender?
It's a 3... like a TIE Fighter's got 2 wings.
Yeah.
TIE Defender's like
3.
a TIE... You know what a TIE Interceptor is? It's the one with the slanty wings.
Pointy wings,
Pointy front, slanty wings.
Yep.
Yeah, that.
3 of those.
With 3 of them.
3 wings.
Yeah. It was the first time I think
diagonally
they did
at the bottom and one on top.
Right, okay.
I think it was the first time they ever did a set that was technically not canon at the time. It was. It would have been Expanded Universe.
They literally had a set
from a
come
video
out
game
that's called that. With the Star Wars, they did quite a lot, and one of the main Star Wars things they did was a series called Expanded Universe, which that was in.
But just boring stuff. No, just nerdy Star Wars stuff. When they did the retcon of the canon and drew a line under the canon recently.
Yep.
All the vehicles, weapons, manufacturers, and planets and stuff stayed.
Right.
They stayed canon.
Yeah.
So it's weird, like things like E-wings and who designed the B-wing and things like that. That's all canon, but it's just the stories that have been.
The Outriders canon, but Shadows of the Empire is not, which is ridiculous.
Bizarre. Anyway, right, so yeah, favourite sets that you've had on your mantelpiece then, Ross, a TIE Fighter and what was it, TIE Defender?
Yeah, but the best Lego set I've ever had is definitely all of the castle stuff.
Paul?
I
didn't buy it big when I was a kid. I got handed a massive bucket of it.
You didn't buy it big when you were an adult either, Paul?
Not Lego. Definitely not.
You bought robots in disguise.
Yeah, big time.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah, the little boy loves Lego, but as a kid, you'd see the big Lego sets. They never appealed. I always liked the little tiny, ones you could pick up for $2.99.
Yeah.
So you get you get one little minifig, and you build like a cop bike or a boat or a cop car or something little. Yeah. Or it was like a space set, and you'd build a little. Ride on little robot thing for it or something.
So you've never had like a little bit of Lego sat on a shelf in your home for any period of time because you thought that set was particularly nice?
Not as an adult, but as a kid, like I said, and like the Robin Hood set and things like that, they had a charm about them.
Right.
And which is weird because it's not the type of thing I really was into as a kid, like Robin Hood and knights and things like that. But when Lego did it, it had an appeal.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just the way they tackled it and the way you could build it. And I just quite like the really tiny little set. So I'd just buy like maybe, one of each. So one from the pirate set, one from the knight set, one from the city set, and just have little ones of them docking about.
Right.
And I just really appreciated for what they were, really. But typical me, I just put them on a shelf and didn't touch them.
Fair enough.
But whilst we're on about Lego, arcing back to last week, I can't remember what the copyright infringement thing was, but I've seen a Bumblebee in here.
Really?
Yes, Bumblebee helicopter. But it's not Bumblebee Transformers, it's Bumblebee Lego Superhero Girls.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be the DC character, won't it?
Yes, is that the thing that's sparked the whole thing off there?
So, did you hear that, Adam?
Yeah. Interesting.
I saw in there, I thought you would like, Paul, is you can get Wonder Woman in her invisible jet.
Yeah, I saw that
Brilliant.
as well.
All clear Lego pieces. It's
brilliant.
Apart from the interior, which is the gag, isn't it? It's like
what is the point?
Like her and the rest of the inside of the ship isn't invisible.
Bizarre.
It's cracking.
Come on then, Adam. Give us your favourite set.
I think my favourite set that I've got is the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Yeah.
Because I love that film and
Do you
like Ghostbusters?
I do.
Fuck off. When did this happen?
Yeah, I know. No one knew.
Do you know what? Above if anybody said you could have anything from Lego now at all, anything, it would be that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
the Firehouse or Ecto 1?
The Firehouse.
Do they not come together?
No,
you have to buy them separate.
Fucking Lego.
But you get it's because they released the Ghostbusters car first, and then people liked it so much they did the building, and they thought, well, if we do the building with the car, we've got to cut down the amount of pieces on the building to make it affordable. So instead, we'll just do the building.
Does the building come with Slimer?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Slimer.
You get Slimer with the car as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Mrs.
yeah,
Slimer.
the Firehouse is It's like 3 floors. The architecture on the outside is beautifully designed. It's got a fire escape
please tell
out
me
the
it fits
outside.
in Lego Cities. Like
Yeah,
scale.
yeah. It fits with it's mini. It's minifig scale. Exactly. You can have it next to part of the modern fire station, or like next to one of the modular buildings, and it all fits together. You know, they're all in the same scale, so it looks beautiful.
Quite a pricey number, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 200 and something quid, but I got it for a slightly reduced price. But it's beautiful. It's well designed. It's got a lot of playability, and the pieces I've taken apart, and I've taken it apart like 5 times and built other things out of it.
So was that Lego Ideas?
Yes,
It
yeah.
was.
Well, sort of. The Ghostbuster car was, and then that was a spurred on extra set, sort of based on Orion Pax's designs.
So you've got your Lego Firehouse built in Ecto 1 will drive straight into it?
Yep.
Mate, Lego's, when you think about it, Lego's legal team must just be on it. So
Yeah,
they must
superb.
just be on it,
They're
because
superb.
they go from going, somebody's designed this, to them going, oh yeah, we can make it, and then in weeks they just go, we've got the license, so now we've got the license, we're just going to build a bigger set of it.
Yeah, well, they worked with Orion Pax, who was the guy that designed it.
Is this the guy? So that's the guy's name?
Yeah, Orion, that's his online
I was
name,
going to say, do you know what that is, Orion Pax?
No.
That's the name of Optimus Prime before he became Optimus Prime.
Ah. Well, yeah, he's been doing
Nerd.
He does Lego Transformers mocks.
There you go then, that'll be it.
That's a rap
himself.
fact.
So, yeah. Yeah, he's like someone online who's been doing amazing sets for years. But yeah, that's my favourite set. And then I'd probably say after that, it's between my standard Millennium Falcon, my Slave 1, and the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy. Those 3 sets are just beautiful spaceships. They're like 3 of my favourite spaceships.
Cool.
Out of anything. So it's a shame they don't do Battlestar Galactica, but to adult
I was going to say, can we touch on that at some point? Can we all mention
fantasy sets?
Yeah,
ones that
basically
we'd like.
ones that we would love to see.
Okay.
We'll go back.
in a minute.
We'll go back to that in a minute. Okay.
So, Chris,
So my set is it's definitely my Wall-E.
It's a brilliant model.
It's a great
Very
little
well
model,
designed.
and like what you were saying last week, Ross, about there being like lots of sets that have got pieces that are very specific to those sets and have been created for those sets. The Wall-E one doesn't really have that many. It's using Technics Lego, real basic Technics Lego, very well. So if you look at it, it's great. It's a brilliant, and it looks so much like him as well.
When I was in the lounge earlier, and it's it just looks like a Wall-E toy. It
Yeah.
almost doesn't look like Lego, because it quite a lot of it's like the top has got the flat, shiny bricks, hasn't it?
Yep.
All over it.
Yeah.
Like also like with regards to like specific bits, other than pieces that clip onto your minifigure or the minifigure's head, or like with Batman his cowl and stuff. Most Lego sets don't have specific parts that are designed for those sets. They have a specific part they've designed, and then they roll it out through 5 or 6 different sets that year.
Yeah.
So there's always new Lego pieces coming out.
But like the dish for the Millennium Falcon and stuff, that was, it's quite a rare separate piece, isn't it?
No, it's made out of standard pieces.
The dish is one piece, isn't it?
No.
On the Millennium Falcon?
I don't think so, unless
For
it is
the
on the
UCS.
UCS.
Mate,
It might be on the UCS.
There's been dishes on Lego Space
toys
for
the
years,
the standard Millennium Falcon that I've got's got just like normal pieces to make the dish. Yeah. So yeah, there are
surely
bits
the
out there for UCS.
You build the dish.
No, you don't. It's one piece.
Yeah.
But the model's massive.
Yeah, but still.
It's basically not a bit of Lego at that point. It's its own. It's a model of the dish from the Millennium Falcon.
You could eat cereal out of it.
I said a dish, mate, not a bowl.
So yes.
So right, okay. What Lego set do you want then? Let's go round. What if you could have one now, and then Father Christmas just turned up and he was real?
No, are we talking fantasy like it's not been done?
No, yeah. There's a Lego
It's not
set.
been done.
Right, no. Let's do the Lego sets that exist or have existed.
Ones that haven't existed, Battlestar Galactica. I'd just like to see the Mark IV Viper as a Lego set.
Oh, I thought you meant Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
No, I thought you meant Battlestar
Oh,
Galactica.
no.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Bear in mind, the one Lego set that I want more than anything is the Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica literally falls into that category. A big, long capital
They'd
ship.
look great next to each other, wouldn't they?
Well, I've got
on your wall facing downwards.
No, on a shelf.
There's a guy online who designed a load of Battlestar Galactica micro scale Vipers that are about that big. So yeah, a Battlestar Galactica that you could open the side and have all of them lined up ready.
Somebody's
to
built
go.
one, haven't they? They must have done.
Oh yeah, there's massive giant models out there of that. But yeah,
well, I've got a few fancy ones.
Go on.
I'd like to see the Overlook Hotel from The Shining.
Oh wow,
that'd be amazing with all the supposed ghosts in each of the rooms.
Yep.
Right, and Jack just staring out. That'd be amazing.
Do you know you're gonna? I think you're close to getting something similar to that because they've just done one of the castles from Disneyland. I can't remember because they're all each castle at Disneyland's different, and they've just done a set of that. So they're not going to be far off doing the Haunted Mansion from any of the Disney parks.
Cool.
And they literally look like that house.
That's brilliant.
No,
right.
You're saying The Shining, aren't you? I'm thinking of fucking Psycho. Sorry.
Oh right, no.
To be honest, you
could
could
probably
probably
be a set as well.
You could probably get one of the Arkham Asylum sets because there's been 3.
That would make sense.
And one of them, you could probably alter it and change it, like one person has online, to look like Wayne Manor, which could look like you could do it. It's possible.
I'd like to see a section of the Prisoner Village with Patrick going.
Cool.
Nice.
As a playset.
As a little playset, yeah.
As a big playset.
Yeah.
Quite good. Yeah.
I've been looking at trying to do my own custom figures on that. I'd like to have a custom set, which I think I might make, of the V characters from V, the 80s TV show. One that you'll never see, but I'd love to see, would be the Rick and Morty house with the garage next to it and the spaceship, but underneath the basement.
There is
one, is there?
Where you get the garage with the ship.
I didn't think you'd ever see that.
Or you get like different rooms of the house or scenes.
That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see the whole house and then the garage and this basement lab. That'd be amazing.
Pretty much use the Simpsons house set.
That would make sense,
house and just plonk the garage on the side and it kind of works.
I think we can all agree that a UCS Floating Bridge 6 would be a bang.
People on the island would definitely buy it where we are.
UCS Floating Bridge.
Is there a UCS 8080?
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
One of the largest sets, isn't it?
To be honest,
it's
I think an 8080 would be
third, fourth largest set.
I think just a normal 8080 would be big enough for me.
Yeah,
is
the
it
normal
about the size
one's
of a is the normal one about the size of a Kenner 8080 anyway?
Probably a little bit smaller. Not by much, but a little bit.
See, actually, this is like, if I had the perfect shelf, I would have Kenner 8080, ATAT, as we call them in this country. I don't want to start calling them 8080 because I'm on podcasts. ATAT. I'd have a Kenner ATAT. I'd have the Lego Superstar Destroyer, and I would have a Bandai 1:24 scale I built and painted 80ST. And that'd be my little Star Wars shelf.
That's a pretty cool shelf.
Cool. Right, He-Man Lego. That's what I want.
That would be amazing.
Oh, they
Castle
did.
Grayskull.
The thing is, with their Lego ideas, they had some sets on there, and the votes were like 5 votes off.
Really?
Like
for
getting,
He-Man?
for getting
What, for
into
Castle
a
Grayskull?
possibility. And
Snake
because
Mountain.
Lego and DC are so connected with the Lego Batman games and stuff,
Right.
and DC own He-Man, it was a high possibility they would have done it.
Wow.
But it got cancelled at the last minute.
If the new film, it's going to take. If that does well,
unless Mega Bloks grab it, because Mega Bloks do grab a lot of properties.
Right.
So Mega Bloks do like Despicable Me and lots of other properties.
Are those the guys that do the Halo stuff?
Yes, yeah.
Halo Lego sets.
Fake
Yeah,
Lego.
Mega Bloks.
Amazing.
They're rubbish, though.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, Mega Bloks pieces don't click correctly. They fall apart very easily.
Okay.
Substandard
That
design.
brings us on to third parties quite nicely, doesn't
yeah.
it? Okay, so we've got a few third parties around the world, Megablox being one of them, and Lepin being one. I've got a Lepin set.
Yeah,
Sat in the
Lepin isn't like a third party. Lepin is just a rip-off using stolen moulds.
Well, third party manufacturer is what we're saying.
In my head, third party manufacturer is a Creo who do the Transformers Lego.
Yeah.
So they're an actual brick making company.
Right.
Mega Bloks, Crow Bricks.
who are the character ones? Is that Mega Bloks?
Yes,
character,
yeah. Block Builders, and there's one other. The stuff from China, which is literally like they've stolen moulds and like made their own substandard
When you say
moulds.
molds, do you mean instruction booklets?
No, molds.
No, for the bricks
aren't
you
real.
cast them, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they cast their own bricks because they haven't got the Lego symbol on any of the bricks. If you go to, there's a shop locally, the other side of the island we live on, who has a shop and they sell fake stuff as if it's real Lego.
Right.
None of the stuff has the Lego logo on it anywhere, and they've got the Lepin instructions. So the instruction booklets are copied, the moulds are copied, and then they put substandard plastic that's actually like can deteriorate and cause illness to a lot of those sets into the moulds, whereas the Lego plastic is proven not to cause illness or anything like that. Doesn't deteriorate
at the end of the
that
day,
easy.
But you're talking about Lepin, and in reality, you could be dealing with fucking anyone in China.
Yes,
It might say Lepin on it, but it could have been made at one of 1,000 different factories.
Yeah, well, there's
and
lots
you've got
of different
no control
names as
over
well.
Quality
No,
at all.
exactly.
With regards to your health, I mean, if anyone out there is thinking about buying a lower grade or a third-party set, from somebody like Lepin, they're not the only one. Any Chinese manufacturer,
Lego with
just think
2
twice
Gs.
about giving it to your kids, because as an adult, you might be a little bit more resilient to things like lead poisoning and things like that. But don't give it to your kids. Don't give it to people under 16 years of age, basically.
Lego with 2 Gs is one of the other ones from there. Then they've got bricks spelt with an X. That's one of the other fake Chinese ones. There's so many of them out there. If you're not going to buy Lego and you can't afford Lego and you want cheaper versions, buy Mega Bloks and stuff like that. That's fine. You know, they're not as well made, but they'll do properties your kids will know and like that are cheap.
I reckon Lepin are going to make it through, mate. The actual real Lepin, because they've started a subsidiary company and they've started doing some very cool properties. They haven't got the licensing for them, but Aliens, the alien looks bloody great, and the face hugger.
Can I just play devil's advocate a little bit? And I don't believe buying fake Lego sets will infect a multi-billion-pound global corporation.
It's not about that. It's about the quality and the fact that it can cause illness.
Because of the it's more likely child safety is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So are these the ones that are available in Poundland and places like that? Are those Lepin, or are they something different?
No, they're European grades, so they're still okay. They're just badly made.
Of course. Anything that's being bought and sold within the UK will be at a standard. Whereas, if you're buying directly, if you're importing it from abroad, just be careful.
If you don't want your Lego sets to fall apart, then don't buy from a company that sounds a bit like Lepers.
Makes a point.
I don't think people realise the substandard levels with some of the foreign fake stuff. Whereas there are lower grade companies that aren't as well made, but are still much better and much safer. So like even the Poundland stuff, although it's pretty rubbishy, like it's still okay.
At least it's safe. It's not going to poison
and
the kids.
it will normally stand on Lego bricks. So if you've got some Lego and you just want to get your kid some cheap, funny looking figures, go to Poundland, get those. You know.
I've just remembered something that really grinds my gears, and I would like to correct all of our American listeners now. Have you noticed talk about Lego for 2 episodes? At no point is Lego a plural.
No, I was going to bring
Lego
that up as well.
Lego is the plural of Lego.
Like sheep. You don't get sheeps.
You don't get lots of Legos.
No.
You don't go over there to get Legos.
I haven't heard this.
People a lot in America do it, and it's like you don't pluralise Lego. Lego is Lego, as in if there's more Lego, there are lots of Lego.
Like sheep.
Yes, much like sheep.
Oh, one more thing, just quickly before we wrap up. When you build your sets, what's it called where you get it all out and lay it all out in a nice, neat order?
Oh, I don't do that. I just pour it on a tray and have fun.
Yeah.
There's a name for sorting, though, is there?
It's called knolling or something like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Kibbling.
Come on, give me some more of these Lego acronyms that I've heard you spout on other podcasts.
So there's like AFOLs, adult fans of Lego.
Nerds!
There's MOCs, which is my own creation.
AFOLs is plural for nerds. Or, at this point, surely adults just like Lego, so they don't need to be categorised as AFOLs.
Well, no, but that's the way it was before it was acceptable for adults to be into Lego so much, like years ago, so that was the name that happened online.
So you don't get cuffles? Fans of
so
Lego.
On your 18th
kids.
birthday and you go out for a pint and you come home and you sit down and you get your Lego out, everyone's like, assholes. It was fine 24 hours ago, but now you're an assholes.
What about guffles?
Grandparents.
Granny fans of Lego? No?
I was like,
it's getting into weird territory now.
Right, come on, give us some more.
To be honest, they're the only two I see much about. There are other acronyms for deeper levels of like people into like collecting and stuff like that, but I don't sort of verge into that area myself. I know a lot of the people that create stuff online and chat to them via Flickr with comments and Facebook and things like that, but when it comes to the deeper, darker levels of people's acronyms, I get lost. There are so many out there. If you go to a website called brothers-brick.com, they put up stuff people have created and information about new sets coming out constantly. And some of the stuff on there, you'll see at 4 or 5 acronyms like at a time about one creator. It's hilarious because I don't often know what they're talking about either.
What about if you've ever had falafels? Are they like
falafels with an apple?
Round little brown brick?
Is that just falafel, or can you add the S on that one?
No, it's no plurals in Lego ever.
Okay.
If you want lots of bricks, you have to say, "I want lots of brick."
Right, 2 questions then.
Are they bricks or
unless
blocks?
you've got anything to round off with.
I just wanted to let you guys know that for anyone that heard last week's Lego Retrocast, that it's Perrin Sands in Cornwall, which is the beach. I've visited twice and tried to find stuff, and I've found a few little bits, but it's getting harder and harder to find stuff now. Obviously, as the tide goes in and out every time, and people are down there.
What condition are they like when they wash up? Are they
some
battered?
Stuff's really good, and some stuff is utterly battered.
Like at this point, the beach, the sand of the beach is made up of really ground up Lego.
Yeah.
I'd really want some wave.
You can get octopuses, seaweed, pirate swords, life jackets for your minifigs.
I love that it was so much Lego pirate stuff.
What do you call it when you get a piece
Off
of wood
the
that's
coast
been weathered by the sea?
Like driftwood.
Driftwood,
yeah.
So Lego would look, that would look cool.
Yeah, bit of drift Lego, like stuck, a load of pieces stuck on a bit of driftwood. Yeah, that'd be nice.
You're right. Anyway, that's my fantasy set. No, Lego Master Builders. Do they bloody exist, Adam? Do you know?
What do you mean by Master Builder?
Is there such a thing as a Lego Master Builder?
Anyone that works... I think anyone that works at the Lego company as one of the people that designs the sets is considered a master builder.
I think you can become a Lego master builder, but it's not easy.
No, so, it's one of the hardest things to get into.
But if you were a Lego master builder, you'd definitely be like in Denmark or something.
Not necessarily. No. You've got the British and American branches of designers that will go to Denmark once in a blue moon.
But you'd have proof and evidence on the internet, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
If I was really good at something, I'd be like, I'm putting this on Instagram.
You're not allowed with Lego. You've got to keep everything stum until the sets come out.
Would you be working from home, though?
I think you would.
You can, yeah. The guy that worked for Lego and designed the board game sets, design them as an idea to get women who have kids that struggle with the creativity of Lego to be able to have something they can get out, build with their kids, play it as a board game and then pack it away. The first year and a half he worked for the company, he was still on the Isle of Wight living here before he then moved over there because he decided he wanted to do other things with the company.
Good opportunity for people with physical disabilities, maybe?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
You have to work from home.
Like
become a
Lego
master builder.
Legos. That's a disability, isn't it?
Yeah. But then you've also got like the people that do the Lego ideas stuff, and once they get an idea through, they then go and work with them for a couple of months, refining the set to the way that they would design it, so there's less pieces or more pieces involved, etc. So they can work out a pricing range, and then they get to spend time there, and then they get classed as a master builder. So it depends.
Fair enough. Rightio. So, Lego ideas sets. What's the deal with those? Are those yearly or?
Yeah, they have rounds. So it used to be called Cusco. I think that's how we pronounce it. CWSSO. It's changed to Lego Ideas now. So they basically, if you get to 10,000 votes from people on the website, so kids and adults go on there all the time and vote for the sets they like the look of.
Yeah.
If you get to 10,000, Lego will consider it.
Right.
They'll have a long list of any that have got to 10,000, or a short list if there's not enough that have got to 10,000 in those 6 months.
Voltron one is looking promising right now.
Yeah. So they
get. Oh, really?
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah. So they'll get to that point, and then I think it's every 6 months they take 6 to 8 sets, and then they round it down to maybe 2 get made.
So we get 2 a year, basically.
No, you get 2 every. I think it's 4 a year, basically.
4 a year.
That's the sort of average. So, like 1 year there was the Doctor Who, the Back to the Future, the Ghostbuster, and I think the Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Then you had the year where there was the Birds set. The
Birds.
Yeah, the Birds.
What, as in
Lego birds?
Yeah. Angry Birds.
No, actual birds.
Like
sculptures of birds.
Oh,
It's not Alfred Hitchcock's The
That's
Bird.
what I was thinking.
That's what I thought for what?
Alfred Hitchcock play set.
No. They did the birds
I'd buy that.
set. They also did a set of female scientists of history.
Right.
So it was a set of different important sort of female scientists. And then I think they did the Yellow Submarine and Wall-E that year.
I didn't actually say about my favourite existing set. Oh, I said Wall-E, didn't I?
Yes.
Yellow Submarine as well.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's a good set, yeah.
Looks beautiful. I've got 4 of them set up in my loft. I don't think I can really... I don't want to break one open, but... Yeah.
Have you not opened one at all?
No.
You should open one for yourself and sell the other 3. You'll easily, once they retire that set, the other 3 will easily pay off the money of having that one.
Well, maybe.
It's a really good set, so it's worth opening if you get a chance.
We'll see what happens this Christmas. They might all just go for 100 quid each. Who knows?
You get a lot more than that once it retires, mate. Hell of a lot more. My Doctor Who set's just gone up by a chunk, and if I give it another year, it'll go up even more.
Which one is it? There's only one, I take it.
Yeah. There's the little Doctor Who sets in the Lego Dimensions where you get him,
the TARDIS,
a TARDIS
set, right?
and a thing. But yeah, the main idea is TARDIS.
I've got the Lego Ideas TARDIS jobby as well. Yeah. But what was my other question? Oh yeah, no, it was another set, another fantasy set. It would be the Lego divorced Barbie play set.
What?
It would come with Ken's car, Ken's house, Ken's horse.
Such a bad joke.
Come on. I spent all day building up to that. The Ninjago movie, that's coming out this year, isn't it?
Yeah, Jackie Chan as the Wise Master.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it going to be any good, do you reckon?
I think it'll be amazing. The Lego sets of it look amazing. You can get a set where you get a couple of criminals, an old man selling food from a street stall, one of the ninjas, and then a tuk-tuk type vehicle that's a police one with a policeman in.
Right.
You've got the city thing that's the same price as the Ghostbusters Firehouse, which is 4 floors of modular shop buildings and stuff that all clip together that have like a river around the bottom, which is supposed to be part of Lego Ninjago City, and you get like 14 minifigures with it. Right. And like each shop's got like, there's like a comic shop and they've actually got little comics, and you got like a food shop and stuff like that, and it's got beautiful sort of Chinese style architecture and Japanese style architecture all over it, and it just looks amazing. I can't afford it, but it just looks amazing. It kind of looks like something out Blade Runner as well, because it's got that kind of futuristic
Oriental
edge
feel,
to it.
yeah.
So,
you guys have all seen Batman, Lego Batman movie, and
yep. Not Batman yet, but
it's really
the
good.
Lego movie I've seen. I need to see
honestly,
Batman the movie.
Go and watch. We said about the Lego movie last week, but go and watch the Lego Batman movie as well. Also, very good quality.
We really need to wrap up, but one quick last question.
Go on.
Is Lego too expensive?
It's difficult because it ranges from like sets that are £2.
Well, no,
up
a
to
piece of Lego costs 10p, doesn't it, roughly? But if a 3,500 piece set pretty much costs £350, that's how it works, doesn't it?
It depends on if it's licensed or not.
And like a 700 piece set would be like £70.
And is the
depending
cost of
on if it's
licensing,
licensed,
is the cost of licensing not pushing the lower end sets up in price as well?
Yeah, if it's licensed, then you will find a 200-piece set that is Star Wars or Disney, compared to, say, Angry Birds, compared to a standard city set, will all range in price upwards depending on the licensing.
But they've all got 200 pieces.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying. So there will be different prices.
Yeah, there will be different prices.
Okay, fair enough.
And also, it depends on the complexity of some of the pieces. If you've got a set that's got a lot of the city scaffolding pieces, they're harder to make in the moulds, so they cost a little bit more to make. So your set, if it's got 4 of those in, is probably going to have slightly less pieces. You'll get 308 pieces, but for the same price that someone's paying for 150.
The cost of manufacture is negligible.
And Lego should be soaking that up.
yeah.
It's like the argument with how good quality the moulds are for Warhammer stuff is. They're amazing, they're industry leaders, but it's still so expensive.
I've got to be honest, I mean, as I say earlier, if I could have any Lego set, it would be the Ghostbusters Fire Station, but over £200
Yeah.
for this. I can't
But
justify
the thing with that one,
at all.
no, and the thing with that one is you've got the licensing.
It's not
You've
a
got,
toy at that
you've
point,
got
is it?
you've
No,
got
it's not
the
true.
artist who's designed it online, who they've also had to pay because they don't want to like just basically rip people's ideas and do it.
Yeah, but he'll be getting like £1 a set.
Yeah, no, I don't think it works like that. I think it's a one-off payment, and then
then it's even less money.
yeah. But then
If they go, "Here's
they
10
also
grand."
they also go with the booklets inside all the ideas sets. So as you know from the Wally one, each ideas set comes with a really nice thick booklet all about the character, the design of the character, the design of the Lego model, the artist who designed it, the people that actually made the model. And there's a lot of work goes into those sets, which is why they're a bit more expensive. But it depends on what you want out of Lego.
Yeah, I just feel it's a bit overpriced.
But then I find that about most things now. Like a Marvel Legends action figure is well over £25, and it's a 6-inch piece of plastic.
And it is, but there's a lot of sculpting in there and a lot of articulation, and the design issue with that, trying to get that amount of articulation in something without it, with the stress factors, you don't really generally have that with Lego to a point.
Then the older Marvel Legends figures from like 2006, just as much articulation, far better sculpted, only cost £8.
Yeah, I think. There we go. I think things are. I mean,
things are just going up in
not
price
just
now,
guilty. I don't think Lego's as guilty. I mean, everyone's guilty at the moment of upping that price, and I do think there's a lot of companies, particularly in the toy market at the moment, that are taking advantage of that, which is really odd. There's
only so much oil in the ground as well that you can keep
there is that as well.
True.
There is that.
Let's tie this all back to the previous one as well, and just say that you probably notice the high cost of Lego because of the fact that you're looking at licensed sets. Whereas if you're going to buy it for your kids, it's probably quite affordable, and you should probably just buy them a bucket.
Yeah,
of
like
stuff.
you said, you buy 10 kilos.
Or you buy them like one of the city sets.
And encourage imagination.
Because the city sets are cheaper, and you can get them a dustbin truck, like a off-road car, and then a bank. And they can mash all the pieces together however they want. But they've got a nice mix of
make
pieces.
Something more exciting than a dustbin truck and a bank.
Well, yeah.
Right,
as example.
Or you can just make the opening scene from Batman.
Yeah.
Batman
or what's the Schwarzenegger movie?
Last Action Hero.
No, the one that opens with the dustbin truck.
Is Charles Dance the baddie in Last Action Hero?
Don't know.
Can't remember. Commando.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's it. We drove that off the cliff.
So go and buy yourself the Commando playset.
Don't go and buy any Lego. It's too expensive. And listen to all our podcasts.
Right, let's wrap this up. Paul, where can we find you?
Oh, well, you'll find where to find me if you've listened to our previous podcast. If you haven't, you better go and check that one out.
Oh, well done. Or look in the links.
Fair enough. Ross?
You can find me not building Lego. It's too expensive. I might be playing some video games on the PlayStation Network, but I've mostly been painting at the moment, painting miniatures.
Have they not done
you can't find me on that.
A little, like, Lego Technics tank that would fire little bullets and things?
No.
Yeah,
a little Sherman thing for that. I just think that'd be right up your street.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, just PlayStation Network, links in bio.
Adam?
As I said in the previous podcast this week, at the end of this weekend, I'll be in
at the end of this week, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 15th, 16th, 17th of September.
Waverley Holiday Park in East Cowes for a charity-based beer, ale, music and poetry festival. And then the normal places, Adam Gatchell Arts on Facebook and YouTubes.
And me, you can find me, of course, at the beer festival. 20 different ales, full bar for people that don't want ale, by the way. Don't be put off by that.
Lots
the
of
fact
food
that it's a beer
as well.
festival.
Lots
of food,
full
food served all
bath.
day. Full bar.
I thought you said a full bath of ale for the
Family
people who don't drink
friendly.
it, just want to bathe in it.
Family friendly, indoor event as well, so no matter the weather, come along.
There's also money being raised for the Cystic Fibrosis Trust.
Yeah. I think we raised nearly £2,000 for our chosen charity last year, so let's try and smash that this year.
Can send us questions to podcast@thesnewnetwork.com.
We'll get a website eventually.
Yep.
At thesnewnetwork.com, shall we?
Yeah.
So,
we'll do
right,
that
yes,
as well
and this
at some point.
podcast, if you can share it with your friends and things, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Do it.
Yeah. If you Google search or they Google search SNEW with the crew, find loads of places to listen to us. And they can also use the podcast app on their phone, iTunes. That's the sound of fake Lego being thrown around. And don't throw it around, I need that.
Never going to happen.
And, of course, Sticher and Libsyn being our main hosty type people. You've been a listener. We've been SNEW with the crew. Thanks very much for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, she says.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Lego. It's not got Lego anymore.
I thought it was an official...
When you...
No, it's not.
Doesn't matter.
What's up?
I was going to say, when you finish building that, are you going to just do the top row in real Lego bricks?